What is up, gamers? It's your Gremlin Queen Neo_phobia coming back at you right now.
Your Excellency, are you alright? As you can see, there's an emblem on the plate. I would guess it's some sort of trademark of La Carnival. Ah. This emblem on the plate. And the victim's burn are exactly the same shape. Inosuke, you genius! No, you're spot on. Which means the victim must have suffered this burn while he was present at the restaurant. Oh, look at us so but even if that's the case, we can't know if it happened on the day in question or not. It could have been the day before or the day after that. It most likely happened at some other unrelated time. Well,
Objection!
Oh, yes. Sadly, Prosecutor Ouchie, the chances of that are extremely slim. Thanks. Why? The outline of the burn is clearly discernible. Such a serious injury would have caused quite a commotion in the restaurant. Wouldn't you agree, Inspector Hosonaka? I can't imagine having missed such a terrible disaster, certainly. But, so, happened to him after he was dead? I would say, looking at the picture of the wound, that it wasn't suffered very long. And although it's not a particularly large burn, it's extremely well defined, and the defense just pointed out, this was no mild burn, that's for sure. Can you be more specific, Inspector? Well, let's see. The plate was at around 90 degrees centigrade. A burn like that would have taken around 3 seconds. Ooh. Inconceivable that the victim wouldn't have let out a scream of pain then. I've been investigating at the restaurant for several weeks already, but I've not heard anyone's opinion. As the head waiter of La Carnival, I can testify to that without hesitation. But you're a detective, not a waiter! Hey.
Yes!
Why can't a man have a day job? There you have it. Something isn't right here. As the detective said, anyone who burnt themselves on a piping hot plate for 3 whole seconds would scream and there's no question of that. And yet Inspector Hosonaga never heard the professor scream, not on that day or any before it. That's right. And the strange thing is, the day he was shot, I didn't hear him cry out either. What are you suggesting? Well, if the professor had carelessly laid his wrist on the plate for anything like that, like 3 seconds that day, that would be careless, I think, also. And the rest of us in the restaurant, myself, the sergeant, and the old antiques, all of us would, without any question, have heard it. Wouldn't you agree, Prosecutor Ouchie? Well, yes, I suppose. So the question is, why didn't a single person hear Dr. Wilson scream? I almost don't believe it. Yunosuke, do you think it was done after the death? Can't really be true. I never dreamt we'd arrive at a conclusion like this, but I'm starting to think that maybe we've been led into Wait. I didn't think that. Oh gosh, I don't know what's going on anymore. There's only one explanation I can think of to make sense of this apparent impossibility. On the day in question, when he suffered the burn to his wrist, Dr. Wilson was already dead. No man could remain silent while his wrist was burning on a piping hot plate for 3 seconds. That's clearly impossible. Apart from in one particular situation. Counsel, are you suggesting? Yes, it's only possible if the man was already dead. Already dead? Here's what I'm thinking. I think she poisoned his glass, then shot him. I don't know what's going on with the burn mark, but that's what I think. It's only a possible explanation. When the beef steak was brought to Dr. Wilson's table that day, the professor was already dead. That's madness! Order, please. Counsel, explain this absurd notion at once. The victim was killed by a gunshot. Wait, yeah, the autopsy The autopsy would confirm that. I feel like. Right? If he was like or something. This is just another ridiculous ploy by the rookie student, but clearly he has no grasp of the facts. No, prosecutor Ouchie, it's you who has no grasp of the facts. Frickin' roasted. I beg your pardon. As soon as it became apparent that the victim had suffered that burn while at the restaurant, this whole case was turned upside down. Or have you not grasped that yet? Old man, Your Excellency, the court must hear from this witness again. If it's true, as we now believe that the victim was already dead before the gunshot was heard, it's highly likely that Miss Brett knows something about it. Are you gonna flip yet? Are you gonna flip yet, Brett? Flip? Incredible. I certainly didn't anticipate this twist of it. I'm sorry to say, Miss Brett, that you will have to forget your luncheon engagement. But Your Excellency. I wonder if this is a pursuit thing. The justice system in our country may be in its infancy, but rest assured, all reasonable doubt must be dispelled before I am prepared to pass judgment. Thank you, Your Excellency. Gonna finally speak. Oh? What was that spot? Yes, of course. I mean, I'd be delighted to help. Especially if it helps with relations between them. Miss Brett? You speak Japanese? Well, of course I do. I am studying in your country after all. But then, why have you been speaking through an interpreter until now? My mother tongue, the Queen's English, is the most refined and elegant language in the world. As a gentlewoman, I try to avoid speaking vulgar tones as much as possible. Okay. Okay, lady. I mean, this is how people thought, really, honestly. But it seems the men in this land possess none of the chivalrous virtues of English gentlemen. I can see that I shall have to lower myself to communicating with you all on your own. You are the epitome of a true Englishwoman. We are truly honored by this lavish consideration you so graciously. Oh, Judge, freaking flip. In that case, Miss Brett, I will now ask you to testify in your own words about the events leading up to the death of the victim, Dr. Wilson. So, we're finally going to hear her own words. Things are getting interesting, Yunosuke. That they are, Kazuma. That they are. Witness testimony. Let's go. The victim's death. Unfortunately, I have no idea when the poor man burnt his. When the waiter brought my steak, the professor and I raised our glasses in a toast. As far as I've heard, the post-mortem report showed no other possible cause of death besides the gunshot. If there's some other way a man's life can be taken without leaving a trace, please do show me. But of course, this country's inferior investigative techniques probably wouldn't pick up on it. What? What are you implying? Was that captivating? Okay, Judge. Easy does it. I'll shrimp. I hope that this is the last time I will have to sully my lips with the coarse tones of your unbecoming tongue. Don't you literally have to talk with Japanese people all the time? Oh, forgive me. I do hope I haven't insulted anyone. Not at all, not at all. It is a mere delight to hear you speak, dear. And it seems very clear from your testimony that this boorish talk of the victim's firm is utterly irrelevant. I will be speaking to your country's Minister of Justice about what has happened here today. The Minister of Justice? May that irritating little bully of a student be given the harshest punishment possible. Amen. Aw. Thanks? Is that a prayer? Well, you'll have to forgive the irritation, Miss Brett, and put up with a cross-examination. I expect you've noticed that this little bully of a student, as you put it, Cosmo, defend me, doesn't miss much. Defend me. I'm sure I don't need to remind you, counsel, that this will be your final cross-examination trial. If you fail to demonstrate any problems with this witness's testimony, I will be ruling on the case. Is that clear? Yes, sir. Okay, that's very loud slap. Don't hurt yourself. Yes, Your Excellency. Oh, look at that determined look in his eyes. Let's get it. Okay. The suspicious. I feel like this is the.
Yes!
Press without leaving a trace? If someone is shot, or strangled, or stabbed, or thrown from a height, however a person's life is, there is always telltale traces. Quite right, dear lady. And as our police force has thoroughly examined the body of the deceased, there can be no doubt. Isn't that right, Inspector Hosonaga? As I've said, I've always aimed for a flawless investigation. There would be physical traces of what was caused of death, that's true. Maybe there's some other way of killing someone that doesn't lead to more. If, heaven forbid, you doubt me, young man, you're going to have to tell everyone how exactly you think the professor did lose his life. Otherwise, I'm afraid your argument falls rather flat, doesn't it? Oh no, perish the thought, calling such a sweet young lady's innocence into question. On my honor, oh my gosh. Ouchie will cut down anyone who dare cast such aspiration. I'm not Japanese. A way of killing someone that leaves no trace. You need some evidence to back up. Yes, evidence.
Yes!
Press this. Here. What do you mean by that? In the lands of the Great British Empire, the police store everything found at a crime scene for later examination. But in this country, you investigate once, that's the end of it. Is that so? Quite right. The carnival is open for business as usual today, just days after the incident. Exactly. Which means that even if the investigation takes a different direction, vital evidence may be lost. Oh? Huh? You good? There's a bubble that appeared on your head. It doesn't even occur to your native detectives to try to preserve the crime scene. I'm trying to be as tactful as about this as I can, you understand. Haha, killer blow. The leader is as formidable as she is beautiful. Amazing. Actually, admitting our police may be flawed. Perhaps Prosecutor Ouchie is finally starting to see sense. I very much doubt that. Though, there's something about what Miss Brett just said. There was a moment before when something didn't seem quite right. You good? Good, my dude? What do you think, Nosuke? I think it's going terribly. No matter how much I press her, I'm not turning up any new information. Yes, as I suspected. Tough witness. I need to find a way to break her testimony, or the cross-examination will be over. But that would mean I have to find a way. There must be some clue somewhere. What, Inosuke? There is one thing I noticed. Something that's been bothering me. About Miss Brett? Actually, no. About the person standing next to her. Inspector Hosonaga. The detective. Yes, he seemed to react a little strangely to Miss Brett's last statement. I was wondering if it might be significant. Might present an opening, maybe. Alright, I have an idea. Try pressing her on that last statement one more time, if you think so, but this time, instead of targeting the woman herself, let's see what we can get out of the detective. Right then, you know what caused this? Find out soon enough, I suppose. Let's go press. We press.
Yes!
for the speech bubble to pop up overhead.
Wait.
How do I focus on? Yes, there it is. The detective's reaction is just the same as before. Why? Up until now, the detective has been in the stand with Miss Brett as her interpreter. But things are very different now. Testimony. The detective is just what the English has to say. It would be a golden opportunity. What do you mean? When people are actually testifying, they're usually very careful to not let anything slip. However, when they're listening to somebody else speak, you'll find they often let their guard down. Right, look at him. He's lost in his own thoughts. Oh, he's finally pulling the sword out. It's time to pursue the man and his train of thought. Sorry, pursue? I'll explain how to do it now, Rinosuke. It's all to do with the witness marker. The moment we're focused on Miss Brett, who's the person actually making the current statement. I'm moving the marker left and right with the direction of the pads. You can turn your attention to other people. While you're looking at the other witnesses, you'll be able to pursue them. Catch the person at just the right time, you might uncover something. If you ever notice a strange atmosphere amongst them, then take a good look around. I mean, I guess my question is there always going to be that mark like the bubble? Because that would make things very easy. Okay, here we go.
Wait.
How do I... Wait, I actually don't. I am trying to look around. There we go.
Excuse me.
Excuse me. Wow, what the? What's the meaning of this? Oh. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to shock you. Really was lost in his thoughts deeply. It looked like you were thinking something just now, Inspector. Perhaps having heard what the lady next to you had to say? If there's something you'd like to say, please, share it with the court.
Objection!
What is the meaning of this? It's the delightful Englishwoman who's testifying at the moment. If you can't find fault with her testimony, then the cross-examination should be over. Immediately. Oh, is, that how it works? Absolutely not. The detective is in the stand, which makes him a valid witness. Yeah, that's right. Not to mention the fact that he's intimately involved in the case. Inspector Hosonaga. Yes? You have something to add in relation to the statement just made by Miss Brett? Gonna say? Well, yes, if you don't mind, I would like to speak. Lady is right. Our country's police practices are not as modern as those used in Britain, which is why I Satoru Hosonaga always strive to make every investigation I'm in. What do you really mean by that? I'll tell you what I mean. I will have evidence lacking on my watch. I'm not afraid to take everything I can from the scene of the crime. It's preserving evidence, you see. I don't care if they call me a crime scene thief. I'm not ashamed of what I've done. Oh dear. Don't excite yourself, sir. Crime scene thief. Well, it looks like the lady's remarks touched a nerve there. Take this, for example. Oh. Is that? This is the bottle of carbonated water that the victim's table on the day in question. And yes, lost all of its fizz having been opened 3 days ago now. But it was carbonated water. I don't care what anyone says. Yes, there's some left in the bottle. I can see it. One day, our police force will be among the best in the world. The time is coming. I guarantee it. Ahem. I can't say I condone the witness's actions, but I do understand the sentiment. The court will accept the last bottle of water as evidence. Miss Brett, can you confirm that this is indeed the bottle from which you drank on the day? Yes, that bottle. I'm just thinking, like why water? Like, so if she had poisoned the water itself, right? That means she didn't drink any. I'm thinking. I'm thinking. I'm thinking. I think it's really sus. I think it's really sus that this glass of water is full. Like, maybe it's just like a... Label's written in a foreign language that I don't recognize. Do you know what it says, Cosmo? I think it's French. Must be very expensive water. Yes, but what does it say? That's what I was asking. Go to France and ask. You could just say that. You don't know. Okay? That's a pride water. So this carbonated water is the last drink Dr. Wilson ever had. Looks like there's a little left in the bottle, although it's just plain water now. No, I've been sweating so much, I'm absolutely parched. Want a sip of this? Keep going? No, Ryunosuke, you can't do that. One thing, that's evidence. You can't go drinking it. Oh, no, you're right. We don't know what might be inside, do we? Never cease to amaze me, Ryunosuke, in more ways than one. Could there be anything in here? What's the matter? It's gone quiet almost. I think I might have just worked something out. Wait, so maybe I was right about the poison. An interesting possibility. You just... Oh. I'm like pretty sure this water's full. There's some other way. Okay. One's a risky one. But I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna present the water.
Yes!
Oh? What is this, the bottle of water? Actually, there is one method of killing a man without leaving a trace that comes to mind. Obviously, I'm referring poison. Poison. Oh, let's go, Ryunosuke! On the day of his death, we know that Dr. Wilson drank from this bottle of carbonated water. Could it be that there was a poison inside? Could it be that the professor actually died after taking this? Order, order, order. On that day, who was sitting at the same table and the professor and able to slip the poison into his drink? There's only one person who could have possibly done it. Giselle Brett, it was you.
Objection!
This is outrageous. To suggest such a thing without a scrap of evidence, you little rookie imbecile. Have you even considered the delicate situation our country finds itself in now? Have you forgotten that we have only just signed a accord of friendship with the British Empire? Have you even the vaguest inkling that your rash accusations could jeopardize the entire country?
Objection!
I mean, what else will we say before? This is not a political. This is a trial to determine one individual's guilt with respect to one crime. The fact that this woman is British makes no difference. We are here to determine the truth. Occur. If I may, I will silence you forever for this disgraceful attack on the lovely. Oh, you really told him to shut up? It is you who should be silent. Of course. Your lady! Where did that come from? She just snapped. I'm afraid I have spoken unfairly before. I offer my most humble apology. I'm sorry, my lady, to what are you referring? I described your police force as inferior. But no matter how inferior they may be, you still investigated a particular point thoroughly, I believe. The bottle, I mean, Inspector. And whether it contains poison or not. Of course. Wait, really? Next time, can you just say it out? Like, did we have to go through all that? Hosonaga? I strive for a flawless investigation every time. I don't believe it. Naturally, we tested the inside of the bottle and its contents. And what did you find, Inspector? I ordered tests for every toxin that's available in this country at the present time. We could find no trace of poison in any description in the bottle of carbonated water, Your Excellency. What? Are you sure? So it was the glass, in my opinion. I think that she poisoned the glass and then took it with her. I was gonna say, it's weird if she poisoned the entire bottle. I'm very grateful to all of you Japanese. You've successfully established my complete innocence in this horrid affair. Thank you. But of course, dear lady, the pleasure was ours. Me too, Rinosuke. Me too. This can't be right. Everything falls into place if he was poisoned. Thank you, counsel. I think that cross-examination has clarified everything. As the prosecution have asserted, a shot to the chest from the butt is the only conceivable cause of death. Furthermore, the accused, who by his own admission was holding the weapon, is the only possible cause. Done for. The court wishes to apologize for the great inconvenience this caused to you, Miss Brett. Oh no, I'm just glad the matter is resolved. Before proceeding, I must ask the counsel for defense. The defense. Do you have any further new evidence to present the court at this point? Me? Present evidence, Kazuma? You got anything? Your sword? Already knows me. I have nothing. Well, if you'll excuse me, I really must be leaving. Why the heck are you a doctor?
Hold it!
Oh? Who's that? It's Susanoo! Please wait. Pat. What is the meaning of this? Forgive me for intruding on court proceedings, Your Excellency. Susato Mikoto-wa, Judicial Assistant to the Defense. Mikoto-wa. My darkest hour, with nowhere left to go, she appeared like a bolt of lightning. She's so cute. Like, she's so pretty. I'm sorry, she's so pretty. And in her hand, she carried a small pack, wrapped in a furoshiki. I bet it's the glass.